Welcome, my friends, to the latest edition of Here's What We Know, the podcast of unexpected conversations. And we don't usually do a lot of returning guests. Every now and then, if I think it's fun or if I think it's just a really cool thing. But when you have Kathy Reichs who says, hey, I got a new book coming out, count me in. Dr. Kathy Reichs, how are you?
I'm fine. Thank you.
I hope you are. You know what I love about it? This is the 24th Bones book. Evil Bones.
It is.
I love how you know what you do the remarkable of taking a dark, unpleasant subject and finding humor everywhere you can.
Okay. Fair enough.
I love it. I love it. And I love it that you have her say stuff that even though I have read, I can't tell you I'm the uber fan, but I can tell you I've read the majority of the books.
Okay.
I've always enjoyed them. You've gotten funnier and you still surprise me.
Well, that's my job, right?
Well, it's not the mystery that surprises me. It's the humor.
Okay.
It's the stuff that you come out with and you say stuff. And I'm like, okay, all right, listen, as we go through this life, not many of us find a way to stay sharper and funnier.
Well, thank you. Thank you for saying that.
Well, can I ask you this? Sometimes, doing what I do, I've been in radio and stuff like that. Every now and then when I'm saying something funny, I know it's funny. But the majority of the time, it's how people take it. And I never knew it was as funny as that. When you're doing the written word, do you have a similar thing? Do you know this is funny? Or do you reread it later when you're just looking over it and you go, okay, wow, that was funny, or let me punch it up?
Both. Sometimes, yeah. I'll never forget this. We used to get teacher reviews. The students would review the professor that taught the class. And I'll never forget when you're going through them. And one of the questions was, what was your favorite thing? What did you least like about the course? I read one, what was your favorite thing? The instructor's sense of humor. Next one. What did you dislike about the course? The instructor's stupid jokes. So what's going to be funny for some people is not going to be funny for other people. And that's just the way it is.
Well, and once you get to that stage where you just don't really, I want to say you don't care anymore. It just doesn't because you realize the craziness and the dichotomies that exist everywhere. Same thing with radio. People say, oh, I hate it when that guy talks too much in the morning. So they'll play music all morning long and those stations die.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. That you do want that interaction. You do want that. I was thinking about this as I was reading Evil Bones, because I remember Deja Dead. I mean, the whole thing. And I wonder at what point, because people ask this all the time, is Tempe a lot like you? And then you can see similarities. But I feel like over the last 10, 15 books and getting to know you a little bit better, it seems like there's been a little separation, that she's kind of gone her own path.
Okay.
But I'm wondering if it's still you.
The character. She's her own person. I mean, obviously she's based on, they say, write about what you know about, so I created a female forensic anthropologist based on myself. But she's got her own quirks. She's a recovering alcoholic, and my friends will tell you I've never recovered. For one thing, she's younger than I am. She's taller than I am. So she's certainly got her own clump of characteristics.
Has she stopped in aging? Because that would be a weird thing, right? I mean, that's something that's hard to write into it, isn't it?
It is. And she hasn't aged very much. Her daughter, I think, started out as 13 and she's now 30 or something. The cat, I think, is like 83.
Okay, Birdie will never die. And what kind of cat likes going to the neighbors? What kind of cat does it?
Hey, if you feed them well, that's where they'll go. So she hasn't really aged in real time. Yeah, I mean, you can make that decision as an author. Do you age your character in real time? Do you just freeze them and they never age at all? I've done kind of a halfway thing. She's aged some, but not in real time for sure.
Well, and that's the other strangeness of that, because you're dealing in the world of science, and science changes all the time. So you have to update the science, because I know it's very important to you. You really get the science right, but at the same token, you don't want Tempe to like keep. She doesn't want to take hands with me and walk into the journey of as we get older.
But she's aging gracefully. Let's say that.
Well, gracefully is not at all. And her and Ryan, I mean, come on. Does your husband ever sit back and go, nobody's that romantic? Nobody talks that way. Nobody sits back and does little pillow talks and flirts with the eyes and, hey, I got an idea. Let's get undressed. That just doesn't happen, Kathy.
Well, the guy's French. Come on, give him a break.
He's Canadian. He's way too polite. He would, even the French Canadians would be like, hey, do you think maybe, and with him, he's just, come on, Harrison Ford, couldn't you make him sit? It would have been, to me, if you could have said, he looked like Ernest Borgnine with great hair. That would have been interesting.
Well, I was doing an interview once with, I think, radio in Australia, and they asked me, what is the Ryan based on? And I said, Rex Harrison. And the interview went on and on. And on. It was only after we hung up, I thought, you moron, you met Harrison Ford, not Rex Harrison.
But Rex Harrison was a charming man.
But he was dead at that point, too. I mean, he was a charming man.
But as far as using it as a frame of reference, I mean, I think Rex Harrison works out great. I mean, you can sit back and still go, here's a name for you, Darren McGavin in his prime.
Okay.
Right? Do you remember Darren McGavin?
No. I mean, I know the name, but I can't.
You remember The Night Stalker?
Okay.
So do you remember that TV show, The Night Stalker?
Vaguely.
Okay.
Well, I was much too young.
Ow.
Okay, moving on.
Ow. You have wounded me, my friend. Wounded me, I say. but that's the fun. I will tell you this, and I don't know, every time I encounter Skinny Slidell, I think Jim Carrey from Ace Ventura.
I think Skinny Slidell is my favorite character. He's certainly my favorite character to write. I love to write Skinny dialogue.
He's abrasive. He's funny, but he's not as funny as Tempe. He's annoying, but you kind of get why he's annoying.
Yep.
And I love the fact that he's not the big, gruff, burly cop.
Yeah.
That you point out his peculiarities.
Yes.
When it comes to looking at.
He's not exactly skinny either, though.
Well, yeah, I know, but I love the hair.
Yeah.
And so when you sit back and talk about the pompadour, that's when I sit back and go, remember Jim Carrey from Ace Ventura?
Yeah, I do.
That's where I go.
Okay.
Maybe I'm wrong. See, that's the beautiful thing about being able to talk to one of your favorite authors, is that she can just sit back and go, yeah, maybe not.
Right.
Maybe you think this, maybe you don't. As you try to do one of these a year, how long does it take? Because you've done all this process interviews and stuff like that, but I'm still just fascinated by some of the things. How long does it usually take you from idea creation, research, sit in front of the keyboard?
Oh, before I actually start writing? Yeah. I usually start thinking about it before I've finished the previous book. It kind of begins intruding the next storyline. By the time I do a little bit of outlining, not a whole lot of outlining. So I really just kind of jump into it and I maybe outline 6 or 8 chapters, and then I just jump into it and start writing. That happens if I turn a book in, and theoretically I turn them in November or close to that. I'll start thinking right away and probably start writing after the first of the year.
So we're recording this in November. So you're ready to turn in the next book.
I have turned in the next book. It's in production right now.
Isn't that crazy?
It was due in September or something. So.
But I mean, that's just never the way, that's just growing up. That was not the way books worked for me. right?
Okay.
I mean, you just never saw a book a year or anything like that. Who knows how long it would take?
Oh, I don't know. Weren't like the Nancy Drew and Hardy Boys, weren't those cranked out? The same guy wrote them all. So
Yeah, but they were a lot more formulaic than yours. Even though you have a thing, they were a lot more this, Nancy, this, and the plots were never way too twisty.
well, that's true. They were pretty strict.
So you could always kind of go, and it was always going to be Mr. Jacobs behind the barn, something like that, right? Where you, I mean, like Evil Bones, it's a fun twist. I'm not going to give anything away. I enjoyed the heck out of it,
Oh, good.
and it was a fun, fast read to me, but it wasn't. It wasn't. I hate to use the word quick because that implies it wasn't there. It wasn't. It was just so easy to digest that,
Okay.
I just sat back and just kept reading. And I'm sitting in my office reading. And my wife came back here one day and she's like, "What are you doing?" So I'm reading the new Kathy Reichs novel. She's like, "Oh," she goes, "Were you going to come out?" And I'm like, "At some point."
Maybe.
At some point. I'm at this stage right now. I need to find out where Katie and Ruthie are. Do you mind? I'm, I'm at that stage. Is it because now, like, just because again, the characters, Ruthie's that interesting thing. It's almost like a granddaughter, but it's not a granddaughter, and I
Right.
don't know the way because I view her almost that way, even though she's her great niece.
Right. But it's a little more lateral than direct lineal. So, and she doesn't have to ride, what do you say, ride herd on her because she's really staying with the daughter, with Katie. So she can, grandkids are like that. You can just enjoy them and not discipline them so much.
Well, you get to have your opinions,
Of
and
course.
if you're smart, you get to keep them to yourself.
Yeah. Well, there's that.
Yeah, and well, again, I don't know. I'm an older dad. I have a 13 and a 15-year-old, not grandchildren,
Okay.
sons. So it's interesting to sit back and watch, and I'm going because I'm reading and Ruthie puts herself in some interesting situations.
She doesn't always make the best decisions.
The best decision, she makes the worst decisions possible, Kathy, every single time.
She's a kid.
At some point, because she's a very bright kid, I always
Mhm.
want to pull her aside and go, Ruthie, now we know you're smart. When are you going to realize that?
Yeah. Yeah.
But
Well, she's a very curious kid.
well, it is, and watching Katie having to be the parent, but without being the parent, but still having the responsibilities of a parent, but not wanting, but what? I love that.
And Tempe thoroughly enjoying seeing her in that position.
Well, and I love the fact that okay, Tempe she either has no food in the house or lots of food in the house, but she doesn't cook.
That's pretty much correct. Yep. But Ryan cooks, so it's the best of both worlds.
Does that float over to the Kathy Reich side?
Maybe. Yeah. I hate shopping. I hate grocery shopping. I don't know why. And you don't even have to do it anymore. They'll deliver it to your door, but you still have to go through those lists and pick out, and then your avocado gets here and it's like a rock. So,
I enjoy the grocery shopping. I mean, I'm the cook here at our house, right? And I don't mind the grocery shopping. I don't even mind the cooking that much. Not a
okay.
fan of I don't like putting things away.
Okay.
I mean, you think about that. And the thing I hate about it, when my wife goes grocery shopping, she doesn't know how much room I have.
Okay.
So when you go out and you buy these 3 big bags of frozen fruit to make smoothies with, I don't have room in my freezer for 3 big bags of so that's it. It's
Okay.
almost a listen, this is a containment issue we have right now, honey. It's like, oh, well, you go to Costco and, oh, we got this great big bags of chicken breast.
You can't afford not to buy it, right?
Right. But the problem is I got to go out and buy a new freezer because we have no room.
That's it. But you saved $2 on the chicken breasts.
Yeah. But I just spent $1,200 on a new freezer because we have, and you know how that goes. You could buy a new freezer and should still fill it up.
Yeah. Yeah.
And you'd be like,
Oh,
okay,
we digressed.
but That's what I enjoy doing this, right? I mean, as I said, I think unexpected conversations. And of course, Ryan would be an excellent cook.
Yes, he's a competent cook. He's not a gourmet cook, but he's had to cook for himself for a long time.
The omelets that he made in Evil Bones sounded delicious.
Yeah, it sounded good.
Well,
It's the
yeah,
creativity. I mean, you probably got all that stuff, the eggs and whatever, onions and green peppers, but who thinks to put all that together?
those food things that I have stored. I've got it right there. How long did it take you to come up with a twist? And I'm not asking you to divulge anything, but it's a really cool book. And it's a really fun thing at the end that you go, oh, wow, that's fun.
Okay.
How deep into it before you went, no, here's where I'm going to take this.
I'm with Mike and Brenda Council with another real Mike Council plumbing and rooter story. Let's talk about the early days. What was it like?
Well, when we first started, the phone was by the bed.
So just the two of you?
Exactly.
And I would answer the emergency calls in the middle of the night. I'd wake up and answer them.
2:00, I'm headed out the door.
So 30 years ago.
30 years and 6 months.
But I hear Mike Council Plumbing might have had its beginnings when you were, what, a kid?
Yeah, I grew up in a little one-room shack, and we had an outhouse out back.
An outhouse?
That's correct.
Oh, my.
And ended up with a great appreciation for indoor plumbing.
Yeah, I guess. And when you finally got it?
It was a great day.
Since 1993, the people of San Jose and the South Bay have trusted Mike Council Plumbing and Rooter for all their plumbing needs. From emergencies like a drain backup or water leak, maybe you need a new water heater or fixture installed, a gas appliance hooked up. Give Mike Council a call at 408-217-1002 or go to mcplumbing.com, an official partner of the San Jose Sharks.
You're in clean hands with Mike Council Plumbing and Rooter.
I usually start with the twist in my mind before I start writing. What's the twist going to be? And then I write up to it. And yeah, my daughter is also a writer, and if she's in a good mood, she writes the love scene, and if she's blue, she writes the death scene or whatever. I can't do it that way. I'm very linear. I start with chapter 1, chapter 2, chapter 3, chapter 4 until I've finished it.
That I was sitting there in this book and stuff, and because we know the TV show Bones and stuff, and again, as it's been said many times, it's completely different worlds. It really is. I mean, the way Emily Deschanel portrayed Bones is not the Bones in the book, and nor do I want them to be. I love them both just the way they are,
and that's what we were going for.
Yes, and it's just a completely different situation, and you when you go into that, I enjoyed the way she just approaches it, like you were saying. And I was thinking, okay, now if they were doing this as a TV show or a movie, this would be a hard one to keep secret, right? Because you have to have enough flesh on the bone to go, oh, okay, there. Now I can see how that created it. It would be hard to do that without giving too much away. But man, it worked perfectly in the printed page.
Thank you. Then I did my job.
Well, but you see where I'm saying that, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Where you sit back and go, if we're going to do this as a TV show or a movie, it would be really hard to make this stay, I don't want to use the word secret, but just enough below the surface that it all works out.
Well, good.
Now, any ideas of maybe what may be coming up on the next book? I mean, because you always try to do a little science. You've said that you always try to get the science right. And you always try to change a little bit of the science.
Well, I always use a different aspect of science. I don't want to keep repeating mitochondrial DNA or fire and arson analysis or cat hair or, or what. So I try to use a different aspect of forensic science in each of the books. And I belong to the American Academy of Forensic Sciences. So I go every year and I mingle and I attend all the different sections, the different specialty areas, and scrounge around for ideas. So not going to say what it'll be in the next book, but it'll be something I haven't used before.
And what you do is, I mean, the forensic anthropologist, that's not something that a lot of people do.
There are currently, 120 of us or something that are board certified. I don't know how many of those are still alive, but no, it's a very small specialty. And we tend to all know each other, not as much as in the old days when there were only 35 of us or something, but that's true.
Are you still doing work with that? Are you still?
No, I'm pretty much retired. Every now and then I'll get a call, but then I just refer it on to whatever board certified colleague is in that geographic area.
Yeah, I think that your Rolodex, the numbers you have in your phone are cool. Hey, Clive Cussler, hey, David Baldacci, hey, Linda Gardner, can you give me a little blurb?
Those are all three in my phone book.
I'm just saying that you would just get that little blurb and stuff. Do you find time to? I was talking to another author, and he was going. The hardest thing is you stop getting the time to read. One of the things I really like to do is I like reading, but when you're researching and you're writing, one of the things that falls by the wayside is I love reading. And I'm like, are you in that thing? Do you still enjoy reading?
You have to read. And I work on the book, whether it's doing research or actually sitting at the keyboard and writing, until maybe 2 p.m. After that, I knock off and I read or, do something else. I read every day.
What are you reading now? Can I be so bold?
And I know you'd ask me that. And every time someone asks me that, I draw a blank and I'd have to go back in the other room. I know I've got this one sitting here that I'm going to start. The Good Liar.
Oh.
I haven't read that.
Denise.
I don't know what else I've been reading. Yeah, anyway.
Well, I just finished that, and then I'm getting ready to start the Persian.
Okay.
And we'll see what happens with that. I've heard good things about it, and I think McCloskey's supposed to be a guest also because I'm fascinated with the written word.
Okay.
I think what you guys do, it's just so amazing. And just the fact that you're still doing it, and I kind of count on you giving me a book a year. So
okay, well, I'm working on it.
Don't get lazy. Don't
There's
get lazy.
And I'll be honest. There's going to come a time.
And this was kind of hard because, it's talking about Birdie. I mean, this one's kind of rough for a lot of the animals, because you have to find really despicable killers because otherwise, was that tough?
Yeah, because people will let you kill off, a character, but don't kill off an animal. Don't kill the dog. They'll be very unforgiving if you kill the dog.
That's the thing. You can never let Birdie die. Then Birdie will be a 200-year-old cat.
Yeah, he's a very elderly cat at this point.
Everybody else in the book ages, but Birdie.
There you go.
Very slight, very
scary.
Very scary, very thin. It's Evil Bones. It's 24. Can you imagine if I could go back and talk to Deja Dead, Kathy?
Yeah.
That you'd be like, hey, 24 books from now, you'll be turning in your 25th.
Yeah, that seems impossible. I just hoped that someone would publish it and then that people would buy it and people would read it and like it and maybe want another one. That was about as far as I was thinking with the first one.
Was the first one did you really go, wow, I'm onto something? Or was it when you got to like the 7th book, were you just like, man, I'm thinking I have a different career now?
Yes. And I think somewhere along the way in there, I went on sabbatical. After 2 books, I think the university gave me sabbatical. And I think I ran that to the longest legal limit, like 7 years or something like that.
7 years, so bad.
I think I was on sabbatical for 7 years. And then finally they said, maybe it's time to retire. So,
what a great second chapter.
Yeah.
I mean, that's just something that doesn't happen all the time. And, having that and finding out that you had that talent, know.
Yeah. Who knew?
Well, I've the story, because I know you're busy and stuff, but the story that you had getting that book published was really most the surreal story in the world. I mean, talk about, I've never heard it happen that way ever.
Yeah, it doesn't. It doesn't happen that way. You just called over the transom, just submitting it over the transom, just mailed it in. Hard copy, big honking manuscript, just mailed it in.
Was that the only copy or did you have another copy?
Oh, that's a good question. I'm sure I made a Xerox copy.
Gosh, I would hope so.
Yeah, I wouldn't have. I don't have it anymore, but I wouldn't have
Wow. Yeah,
Right
if you
there.
had that now, man, can you imagine what Antiques Roadshow would say about that?
I might have it somewhere.
Oh, it might be worth something. It would be worth something. Can you imagine? That's crazy to have the success that is the Bones novel, and to have the actual typewritten, computer printed, whatever, manuscript of the first
Yeah.
one.
Yeah, I'll have to look around.
I've given you something to do for the rest of your
Something to do
afternoon.
this
I've got you have nothing else in your life. I've got nothing else going on. Thank you for adding something else to my to-do list. Kathy, thank you. And I always enjoyed it. And again, like I said, I love it that you keep surprising me with your humor.
Well, I'll keep working on it.
Well, you've kind of got it nailed. I'm just saying.
Okay.
You're pretty good at it. Kathy Reichs, thank you again. Evil Bones out, the 24th book, and it's awesome. I've read it, and it's really, really awesome. You'll enjoy it. All the links are here on the podcast, and order your book now, and let me know what you think.